Hi, my name is Dustin Adams, and I want to show you how we can use an add-on called flubaroo to enhance our experience using Google Forms quizzes. For many of you, I'm sure you've got lots of experience doing Google Forms quizzes, but for the uninitiated, I'd like to walk you through that process just a little bit. Here I'm at just Google Drive, and I'm going to click New and go down to Google Forms. It'll open a page like this. Here's where we can name our quiz, and then there's different settings. You'll have to figure out which ones work well for you. I do generally require a login provided by our corporation for someone to see the quiz. I also collect the logins. In our district, their logins are their email addresses. So then later on, when I show you how we can email out the results, it's easy for me to just send those to the collected usernames. I'm only going to require, only allow one response per person, and many people would find shuffle question order useful, but in a later training I'll explain how that doesn't work for me, because I like to record my own voice reading the quizzes for the students that have quiz read aloud in their IEP or ILP, so I want them to see the quiz in the same order I read it. But those are all form settings. I'm sure you'll find what works best for you. I'm going to flip to a quiz that I've already played around with a little bit. I gave it the name flubaroo Training. I chose the form settings that I wanted. One of the questions that I like to have for these is give me a parent or guardian email. I have parents that would like to know right when the kids do how well they do on these quizzes. So we'll just have the students type that. That'll be a text question. Another one that I like to put in is block, because we have different blocks for the students, and I'll just make that a multiple choice, and they'll either be in my first block or my second or my third. And that'll become useful later on when we're sorting the different students' results so that we can get them into the grade book. But let's take a look at the different question types. There are text question types where students will type an answer. It looks like this. There's multiple choice, super easy. We can add as many options as we want just by clicking the next one. Maybe green sky. Or we can choose checklist, where students can choose more than one response. There are some other ones in here. Play around with that, and I'm sure that you'll find lots of ways to find out what your students know. There are some other great options that we have. We can come up to response, and right now it's accepting responses, but if I'm concerned about students maybe accessing the quiz outside of the testing environment and maybe using a book or something, I can unselect that, and students that try to access the quiz will be given this message or any kind of message that I want to write here for them, and then when it is time to take the quiz, I can switch that back to accepting responses. And next I want to view the live form, let you see what the students will see. There are pretty templates that you can choose for how you want your form to look, and the students get to see this. I'm going to go ahead and fill it out, because later on you taking the quiz, that's the key, and you're going to record the correct answers to compare the students' responses to. So right now we have a blue sky. The NFL teams are the Bills, Packers, and Cowboys, and starts with a G. So I'll submit this, but I'm going to go back to this view, and we'll talk about kind of how this works. This view responses takes you to a spreadsheet that's linked to this quiz, where it'll record all your responses, and this is one of the ways that we can see how our students did. You can also reach this response document through your Google Drive. It'll show up here. As soon as you make the form, it makes both the form document and the spreadsheet where it's recording how the students did. I'm going to go to one that I already have results for and let you see how that works. There's a timestamp on it. I did collect usernames, and across the top I have all the questions, and then I have all the responses. Mine is here at the bottom because I took mine after my students did. And now I want to show you how we can add this add-on. If you haven't used add-ons before, you're in for a treat. Come up here to add-on, and we say we're going to get the add-ons. We're going to search. Well, we don't have to search. It's so popular. It's right here. So I'm going to add this one. And now when we go to add-ons, it should say flubaroo. There we go. What we want to do today is grade the assignment. And it walks you through just a couple steps. One is to ensure that we're not grading anything that should be not graded, like name, email, things like that. So we make sure that it's collected either skip grading or identified student unless it's actually a question. There we go. Sorry about that. And then it wants me to choose which one's going to be our key. Mine is this one. And give it a little bit of time to think. And now our spreadsheet with the student responses now has this extra sheet that says grades. It does a little bit of the calculations for you. It tells you your average score, and it will collect low scoring questions. I didn't have any this time, but if I did, the question would be colored kind of like a goldenrod color to let you know which one the student struggled with. For the next step, I generally like to hide these first few rows so that I'm just kind of looking at my scores. It does color code students that are above 70% and below, and I believe you can change that proficiency mark if you like. I can shrink this down to make space, so if you're wondering what that is in the background, it's a picture of my daughter at the dentist. Sorry about that. No, I'm not. I think she's adorable, so I'm not sorry. But that would allow you to maybe open your online gradebook over here and see both at the same time. That's something I find really useful. And along with that, I like to sort these, and then we're alphabetized so that we can go into the gradebook really easily. Like I said earlier, I do have different blocks, so sometimes I'll collect the student blocks, and if I organize by username and then block, I'll get alphabetized within each block, and that makes grading very easy. If that's all flubaroo did, we'd already be saving a lot of time by using it that way, but another option it has is we can use it to email the grades, and we just choose which field has their email address in it. At my district, their username is their email, so I can choose that. If you have selected to have students type their email as one of the questions, or if you had them type a parent or guardian email, you can choose that here. I am going to include the questions and the scores, but not the answer key. You can put a little personalized message. You can do that however you want, and then we're going to continue, and it sends that out. Now, one spot that is a bit tricky is flubaroo does a nice job recording if we emailed or not. That way, if you get a couple more responses, you can hit email again, and you're not emailing these same people over and over again. But if you do have a student email and a parent email, I even have students that have separated parents or situations where they need two different people emailed outside how they did on the quiz. What we're going to do is we're going to come through here and clear this. Actually, sorry, got to do it up here. And then if we told it to email, we could choose a different column, and they would email those responses to those other people, and that's very helpful. Sorry, I keep stopping it and restarting it like that, but I just have so many things, and this is my first time, so I'm doing my best to make sure that I don't leave anything out. I can show you what those emails look like. This is an example. It has a grade up at the top, and very obviously with color it shows which ones were correct and incorrect. So that's really nice that the students get that kind of feedback. I want to go back to this view, sorry, um, because there's one thing that helps me with my record keeping. I do generally give interventions and retakes on quizzes, and you can make a brand new quiz if you like, or if you want, you can come in here and select rows. And this took me a minute to figure out. You can't hide them or clear them and have it work out very well. You really need to delete the rows you don't want anymore. And then that's kind of like wiping away the attempts the students have taken on the quiz, and then they can do a retake and you'll get that second try. Or it's also good to do that if you've recorded the grades for the people who have already taken the quiz, and then you can have some more students take the quiz. This way, once it's recorded, it's gone. But one thing to keep in mind with that, once you delete that, you no longer have the item by item breakdown of who missed what, which can be really helpful. I still have it here even though I've deleted it here because I haven't gone up and told it to regrade. Once I regrade the assignment, I would lose that data, and I don't necessarily want to do that right now. And that's all I can think of right now. I'm sure I left out lots and lots. Like I said, it's my first time, and I'm going to try to come back and get better at this and record some other explanations of things I know how to do. I love meeting educators. So if you're local, if you're within 50 or 100 miles and you want some help with this, you want somebody to come and sit with you and walk you through it, let me know. You can email me at adamsd@franklinschools.org, or you can reach out to me on Twitter. I'm teachbaby, like Vanilla Ice teach baby. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so reach out. I hope this helped you. If it didn't, reach out and let me know how I could do better in the future. Thanks. I hope you found this worthwhile.